Okay, what we're going to do right now, I'm Hansi,
Yep.
and this is Valborg Chommie.
Okay. I know you real well.
And I'm going to go sit over there. We're going to do a little interview. We're going to talk to Grandma about the Friendship Club and the how it originated and a little history about it. So I'll sit over there and I'll ask Grandma questions, and we'll go from there. So this is Valborg Chommie, and I'll go over there and we'll ask you some questions.
And you know that in our community, a lot of people, even the person that's taking over for me, she said, "Val, you've got to tell me the beginning."
Yeah.
So you see how important
We can
it
use
is.
this. We'll put this in the tape. So
It's important.
you bet.
And that'll help her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So here we go.
Okay.
When did you start? How did this club come to be, and when did this happen?
Okay.
Well, first of all, actually, let's tell the people what the Friendship Club is, I guess.
Well, no, we can't tell that until after I tell you how it originated.
Mm-hmm.
It originated because of the state calling. I was, at that time, I want you to know that I was on the welfare board. And I remember his name very well. This is 30 years ago. Mr. Moores told me after the meeting, he said, "Val, you know, I got a call from the state, and it was not a suggestion, but it was a command that a community of our size must have something to do for rehabilitating people from the state hospital, lonely people, people in wheelchairs, and all these years, Thief River has had nothing like that. So this is something that you must start."
Mm-hmm.
And so we did start. Mr. Moores asked me, naturally I said yes, but I still was interested in these people because they're something that would interest anybody that has nothing. But it started on a very small scale. We had a meeting, but I called all the organizations, I called the churches, I had help with it, but they even sent representatives in from the state, 3 of them, that met with us at one certain night.
This was 30 years ago.
30 years ago.
1969.
Yes. And so all of this took place at that time. And people called, as I said before, called organizations and all. And the meeting, these 3 representatives came, and Mr. Moores and I were hoping we'd have a good turnout. But we do have to remember this, that in a small community, clubs and organizations and all, they have their own things that they have to take care of. We understand that. So the turnout for these 3 people that came from the state, the turnout was very small after all we'd called to get them out. But we understood that. So as the meeting transpired, the thing that Mr. Moores told me as being on the board, all of a sudden I realized that he had talked to me. And he said, "Val," he said, "I want you to take over now." He said, and find out things from these people. And so the first thing I did as a foolish young person, you know, how it meant something to us, I said, what is going to be our budget? What funding? What do we have to take care of an organization like this?
Mm-hmm.
And this was a dark-colored gentleman, and he looked at me, and I was young at that time, and he said, "Young lady," he said, "nothing. You have no budget."
You were 65 about.
Yeah.
No, you're about. Yeah, you're about 60.
Well, I was young. And he said to me, he said, there will be no budget. And also, he said, there will be no help from people like yourself and other people that want to add to this fund. He said, this is a community a community that can well afford to take these people. He said, it's something that we insist on. So I said, there we were. And so when Mr. Moores asked me to take over, I said, you can imagine what the feelings I had with a few people that were there. And so I said, well, first of all, I said, I can't take this over by myself. And I said, I'd like hands of people that would, I'd like at least 3 people that would help me with this, if this estate. And all of a sudden, I said there were 3 people, Clarence Collins, and I said 2 other people, treasurer, and so on, that did all of this. They made it for me because they gave me assurance that I would have help. But I said, through this, I said, after they had left, I said, we were in a position for each time, each month, we would have to go to the different organizations and ask them for help. We'd get nothing. But it had to be community. So naturally, it had to be from the organizations. And I said, this was wonderful for a while. I said it was great because I said, in my upstairs back room, I said, I have everything under the sun you can imagine because I said, I've lived here so many years, and grandchildren. I said, they call it my Humpty Dumpty room. So it was not a meeting. It was a party.
In your home, you had the first groups.
Yeah, where we met. And we met in different parts of the town. And they all helped us as far as meeting places. Any number of places, the library and Nopers and the library and different places all helped us for a while. And it worked out pretty well, except that we had, Clarice Collins and myself went around and had to ask everyone, all the organizations, for help. And they gave what they could. We understood that. They had their own meetings and their own funding that they had to do. And we were grateful. But it did not work out. It did not work out. After about 7 years, we decided that this would not work out, regardless of state or anything else, that we had to do more for them. In fact, we would have bingo, and all we could afford was to have little knickknacks from our own resources and give them, instead of money. That it was important to them. They had little money, and so most bingos, you know, are money, that people have money when they come home, but we didn't have that. So we decided that we would have to just cancel. And then our miracle came. Our miracle, United Way. All of a sudden, the Lord took care of us. And here we were, getting an allocation of each month that would supply us beautifully so we could do things for them, take them to places. For instance, McDonald's and different places for our Thanksgiving, for Halloween, different places, and also celebrate birthdays for them. And that time, there weren't that many. Of course, the sum was pretty good at that time. So it all came to a tremendous head after we had United Way. And also, I want to mention here Social Services that sent us all of our wonderful invitations. Each time I'd call them in, and they'd have birthdays celebrated. And then, by the way, we celebrated birthdays every month, $5 every month for all birthdays. You can imagine what that would mean. Many of you don't, but lots of you do, to have that $5 each month for each person that had this, that they could depend on.
Okay, Grandma, after you started up and you got the funding from United Way to continue, what happened then after United Way started to give you monthly contributions and help you out so much? What happened as a result of that?
Fine. I love to answer that.
Okay.
We had an entirely different way of living. We had almost like a burst of something from the Lord has given us a chance to do something for a change without somebody having to give us. We had to go and ask somebody, beg somebody for money. We had an allocation that we had every month. And then at that time, we were not only why we did this, because now we're once a month, and why I was young then. I didn't realize that we could have this for just once a month, but we had it twice a month. And we had this funding that came through, so we could take them out to McDonald's. We gave them money. Now, sometimes at Christmas time, we would give them, even when our membership was smaller, we even gave them $10. You can't believe that. But you can imagine what that meant to them.
How many is the membership today?
Okay, now we can't give them that. In fact, it's gotten down to $6, but they love it. And every birthday is celebrated with a $5 bill, crisp $5 bill. So you can imagine, and going to different places, which we've had all through United Way, we had gotten so that we could have our Thanksgiving party. We were out at Dee's, and our Halloween party out at one of the other eating places, all through different places that were great to us, helping us through all of this. So you can imagine what this did for us and lonely people that we've had all these many, many years.
Yep. I want to ask you a question about that. How does somebody become a member? How do you seek members, or how do they seek you?
Okay, I'm glad
is there something that they have to pass a test, or how do they qualify?
Okay, that's a very good idea, because so many people, when I've given talks, and I've given talks on and on throughout the community, even in churches around the country, I've been doing this for years. But the thing is that our, what did you ask me again? Here I am.
No, that's okay, Grandma. How do members qualify, the Friendship Club, how do they qualify to get in the club?
Okay.
I mean, for instance, like Laverne and Leona, the people in the club are handicapped, they're mental, they have some problems mentally. There's mentally retarded people. There's Down syndrome.
Slow people. Yes.
Blind. There's a midget in there. I mean, it's like, for instance, the midget. She doesn't have any problems. She's just a midget, unfortunately. But yet, you have these people.
See, I'm so glad you asked me this, because the thing is that we had to be very careful, and our board chairman, Art Heinze, we had meetings. And we went over all of this together, because if we had opened up this to everybody in our community, we'd be swamped. There are so many lonely people. There are so many people that need aid. We couldn't begin to take care of them. when you stop to think of it. Yes, Fergus Falls, we knew the people we had, and we knew wheelchair people. We knew people that really needed this, but what we had to have was a sanction from doctors. Doctors, as far as lonely people that really needed this care. That's how the whole thing came about. Because much as we would have loved to, there are lots of lonely people in Thief River.
So is it churches and organizations like hospitals that come to you and say, I've got a person who would fit into your group? Or?
No, none of that at all. These people were screened as far as the doctors were concerned. And of course, you've got to remember that this came also from people from the state hospital that never in our community had we ever done anything to rehabilitate people like this. Never. Never at all. And then finally, this came through. And then also people that are in wheelchairs. And at one time, we had 3 or 4 wheelchairs going. So all in all, and then the doctors, and I've had many letters from some of the doctors that have given the friendship so much adulation and praise because of what they've done for people that have belonged to our friendship club. So you see how wonderful that made us all feel, because we were doing something. But no, it was not open to anybody, everybody.
How have you been able to, so tell us a little bit about what you have been able to do, what your role has been.
What my role has been?
Yes, I mean, from the meeting to meeting responsibilities, what do you bring to the meetings? How have you coordinated the meetings?
Well, this has been more or less simple, because our allocations and all have been always coming through, and our social services, another organization that I want to include, are people that have sent out all our invitations. They get invitations, and birthdays are recognized every month, and the meeting and all. So all through all of this, there hasn't been any conflict at all as far as taking care of this, as far as I'm concerned. And my concern is that it's given me more strength and love and a feeling of getting older as I am now, getting more of feeling that people's needs in the community.
What do you do on a meeting-to-meeting basis, though? What do you do for the meetings?
At the meeting?
Yeah, like, tell us what you do. Like, you go there and you set up everything with all your decorations.
Okay. To tell you the truth, I've got, like my grandchildren used to tell me years ago, I'm an older person now as I'm being interviewed for all of this, but I have a room upstairs, which a lot of you people have, and in it I have everything under the sun to decorate, from trolls to witches to angels and on and on. And I said, it isn't a meeting that we have. I said, it's decorating the tables and making them feel loved and feeling that they're wanted and needed and really having a feeling
making them feel a part of something.
A part of something. You said it. Exactly. Exactly.
That's great. What's been the biggest reward for yourself, being a part and meeting all these people?
I can't begin to tell you. I can't even, inside of me, begin to tell you how much all of these years, these 30 years, have been in my life. And my daughter would say to me, when I tell her that, you know, Karen, my daughter's name, Karen, I would tell her, you know, Karen, to be needed is the greatest thing in the world. And she'd say, which is only natural, Mother, you're needed, we love you. Remember now, I'm telling you this, in our community, and I don't want you to ever forget it, there's a different kind of need. It's a need for people that are lonely and unhappy, and a feeling that somebody loves them and cares and shares with them.
Mm-hmm. A lot of them don't have that.
They don't have it. They don't have it. And that's what these people have. And I don't think there are many people that we've had in our organization that do not feel caring, sharing, and loving, and being loved for.
And that's what friendship's all about.
That's what it's all about. It isn't, I don't want it to be a club, but it has to be through the state and all. It's a family. We love each other. We love each other. And when somebody leaves us in death, we miss them. We love them. But this goes on and on. There's something that's so close that binds us. And most of all, we realize that it's in our meetings, it's our love for the Lord. The Lord that's brought this all about for us. Okay. Loved you, Hunsie, today. You just made it. I kept thinking, I worried about it a little bit and wondered, but your idea of having them so they each got a chance around the whole place, no matter what you had given them up there, they all wouldn't have been a part of it.
Mm-mm.
No, but you gave them a chance to say something that they had in their hearts. And so many had a lot to say. Others didn't. But they knew that they had such a special interest in that I don't know how you thought of that, but it was such a great idea because we didn't have enough time for any activity, I mean as far as matching and doing things.
Mm-hmm.
But that ask your name and what you're thankful for. Did it.
I thought they liked that.
Oh, they loved it.
Mm-hmm.
It made it do, you really hit it. I thought at the time, you said it.
Yeah.
To have them think about what it's all about. They aren't that foolish that they don't know.
How does it make you feel that some of them said that their faith in the Lord or something, that they didn't have that before they started with the club, and then through meeting you and going to the club, they have a faith in the Lord now?
Well, I know, that was a few of them. But even so, many of them feel that way inside, that they can't express themselves. But it's a feeling inside that these people have, that somebody loves them.
Mm-hmm.
Caring, sharing, and loving. This is what I've had for 30 years in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Your grandfather wasn't too pleased lots of times, but I loved it. It's my life.
He was around when you started the club.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. And I was on the welfare board.
Do you have people say, what are you doing that for? Or anything like detractors that would belittle it or anything like that?
What?
Do you have any people that would belittle it and say,
no.
"Oh, you'd never"?
No, never. Never to me. I don't know what they thought about otherwise, but it didn't make any difference at all as far as I never heard comments like that. And you see, it was under doctor's supervision too. I insisted on that nobody could. We would have been swamped. People, lonely people in this town, look at them.
How did you feel about it when you won the Merit 1981 or 82? You won the Merit Mother of the Year award.
Oh.
And that was part of it was a lot of things you do, charitable things outside the Friendship Club, but a lot of it has to do with the fact the Friendship Club. How'd you feel about that?
No, you know, all along I hated it. I can tell you the truth. I really didn't like it because I felt I knew so many people that had done so much. We know people in the small community, Hansi, and these people weren't educated like I was. My father was prominent, which helped me, and so many things helped me to get a lot of these awards. But these people had not had these chances. They could have done it, but it all depends upon your circumstances. And I never felt that there were too many people worthy of this. I hate a small town for that reason. In fact, when I got the awards for Merit Mothers, they insisted then that something should be done for me here in Thief River. And Clarice was the one that put my name in and got the pastor and everybody to. I didn't have anything to do with it. I just gotten out of the hospital. I was sick at the time. And Clarice took me to Minneapolis. But nothing to do with it at all as far as I was concerned. And a lot of people could have qualified for this as far as what they've done in the community, but had never had a chance. Never.
It was a nice way to say thanks to you, though, for what you've done, which was a lot.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful for me. Really was. And now I also had another honor not too long ago. A young fellow that came over to the house, and at that time I had been chosen to go to the fair with everything paid. I had had that honor before.
Was that the Friendship Club?
Not through Friendship Club.
I mean, you could just go to the fair and spend anything you wanted.
Yeah, this is another thing that happened. And he came over. I got a beautiful letter from he and his wife. They couldn't believe it. Because they said, my stars, here you are again, and not, you won't. I said, take it the second time. And they said, yes, but you were voted on in a group, and they want you to have it again. This is Outstanding Citizen in Thief River. That's just about a year ago. And I said, I wouldn't even think of it. I said, I've had it once. And so his wife wrote me a beautiful letter. And then afterwards, a woman from out of town got it. And she got up. You know what she did? Of course, when I got it the first time, I didn't go out to the fair as I should have done, and had the recognition out of the county fair, the Pennington County Fair. Woman of the Year, Man of the Year. I got that years ago. Oh, I've had more recognition. And I didn't go out there because I was gone at the time, so it worked out fine. But I got a sum of money from the whatever it was. And so, and at that time, then Goodern took me out, and it was just goofy. We didn't enjoy it at all, but I went, and everything worked out fine. But when I came back again, or the next time this happened to me, this woman from another town, you see, their districts and all, she got it because I wouldn't take it. And Shannon Shannon told me some time ago, she said, Val, she said, everybody wanted you to, again. And I said, Shannon, I had it. She said, well, they wanted you to have it again. And I said, no way. And she said, you know what happened? when this person got it. She was so thrilled. She took up about at least 20 or half an hour. She had all her family lined up. She had them all get up at the county fair to be with her.
Oh my goodness.
She had all of them. She's from out of town.
That's great.
She was so thrilled. And the family was all there. She said you wouldn't believe it.
Is there any moments in the last 30 years that stick out in your mind? Any kind of fun little story you want to share with the Friendship Club? Anything that sticks out?
I couldn't even begin to talk about them. Oh, I've had so many. People that I've loved, people that have called me, people that have come over to the house and talked to me.
Art Heinze?
And shared, Art Heinze, he's been my special joy. I love him so. I've got to make him some more fudge. I've got to make I'm not going to do it now. I'll do it when I come home. But he's so special. And he kept saying to me at our meetings, and I said, Art, we are not meeting the way we should. He said, well, he said, you're good to me. You're good to me. He said, I tell you, he said, those meetings all the time. He said, when you decided, when your husband was so sick, he said, I went out of friendship for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And Art said, oh, I thought I was going crazy. He said, those meetings. And I said, well, everything's gone well. And he said, I know it. But he said, the thing is that I prayed and hoped that somebody in this town could take your place. And I wondered who in the world it could be.
Grandma, tell a story about the nasty man story.
You mean with you?
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you. Well, you know, that day that you did all of those things, you were so great. I was so proud of you. And I was just bursting in the buttons. And I thought, oh gosh, this is wonderful. And then all of a sudden, because you had gotten people to come up there that I couldn't budge to come up.
Mm-hmm.
No, they wouldn't come up and do things for me or get up or say something, no. But everybody seemed to, well, I knew your personality. And then all of a sudden, I was standing by the door and I thought, oh, hallelujah, this is so beautiful. And congratulating myself on having such a wonderful grandson. And then all of a sudden, you got carried away, as you sometimes do, and this story came up. And I thought, I'm hearing things now. And at the beginning, I got a little instinct that something was happening. And I stood up and I looked at you and I just, and you never paid any attention. You just smiled at me. Went right on with the story. And a lot of them didn't get it. Mm-hmm. In fact, now when you people tell stories, sex stories, I don't get them at all. Because I never had that kind of sex. I don't know what that's all about. I mean it. I don't know what you're talking about. That's why I go to bed often, because
I think I told the joke. I think I said, what did the left ball say to the right ball?
What? What did you say?
I think I told the joke, what did the left ball say to the right ball?
Yeah.
The guy in the middle's a real dick.
I don't even get that. See, I don't get all this stuff, and I don't want to get it. But it's gone.
So anyway, Bernice heard that.
What?
Bernice.
She heard it.
Yeah, remember?
Did you say that today?
No. Then that story though. Then she said, remember? What did she say when I told that joke?
Is that what you said to them? Well, how did she
No. Remember? Like, years ago when I told that joke, and then everybody heard it, and then they laughed, and then Bernice came up to you afterwards.
Yes.
What did she say?
She said You got a dirty man. You got a dirty man.
No, nasty man.
Not dirty. Nasty. That's the
You said
word.
nasty man.
Nasty man. And I just smiled at her. I thought, get by. Gee.
That's right.
Oh, gee, she was something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she never was smiling. She'd go in the other room and look at all the stuff in the craft shop and come back again. And I'd let her wander here and there. But, oh, what a gal. And now Irene, I got a letter from her daughter. And she gave me Irene's address. The place where she stayed, this woman was so good to her that every year, now I did it now in this last fall too, I gave her daughter clothes and stuff that I've had in the storeroom for years that I don't use anymore and stuff. And she loved it so. But she had a hard time with Irene. Irene's daughter lived in town, and they were really nasty to her about a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And Irene's daughter her family, one of them was a garbage deal. And they didn't amount to a row of beans, if I hate to say it, but nothing at all. But I know, I'm sure she hated to leave. But now I've got that little deal, and so when I come now to Karen's, I'm just going to enclose the little money.
So tell us about when you go to your daughter Karen's. What is that like for you to go there?
To Karen?
Yeah.
I'm going to be lonesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know I am, because I have all these people here in Thief River that call me, love me.
But it's good for you.
But there's something you wouldn't understand with mother and daughter, because Karen is the love of my life.
Mm-hmm.
She is so close to me, and her love for me. And when she was younger, she wasn't easy, because she was very popular, and a lot of times she'd get mad at me. And they'd have parties here, and Dad and I'd sit upstairs. And if the lights were down, I'd come down. And it wasn't easy for her lots of times, but she realizes that through our lives. But now, we are like this. I understand her, but I do worry about her. I don't like these gals that she is so committed to, like Carol. And Carol, like Karen said, thinks the world of you. She said, I can't believe a mother like you have. Talks, and I know, and I love Carol. But I hate it that she is so possessed with Carol on the going out to the not the arena, but this place where they gamble.
The casino.
The casino.
Yeah.
Well, of course, Karen now has it so that they go half and half.
Yeah. Yeah, and smoking.
And smoking, and here's Susie. Here she is, Jane, Susie, and Carol.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly. That's all they do. It's just constantly, and that's it. But like Karen said, Mother, if you come and live with me, I'll quit. I promise you. Well, I don't like to give up everything. I don't know how many years I have left, but I still love people in Thief River.
Yes, you do. Yes.
So, I don't know.
It's a tough decision. But it's inevitable, I think, sooner or later.
Oh, of course it is. At my age,
Mm-hmm.
and my prayer is that the Lord forgives me in thought, word, and deed, because boy, I sin every day, and I am not worthy of His great love and forgiveness, but He gives it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, and I know no matter what I do or say, that He's going to forgive me for it. But boy, I can have some rotten thoughts sometimes about people and being mad about something, and there you go. But Hansi, I'm so thrilled. What I wanted to talk to you about with your darling wife. Oh, I love her. She is so special. That you are going to go into her church.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, it took you a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I can see that.
But I found a nice modern Catholic church that I like.
Exactly. And Hansi, what's the difference?
No, it's the big picture that counts.
Oh, it's so silly. This whole big picture. Good Lord, the Lord made us all. This foolishness with all these different... I can't stand it.
That's right.
Hate it. And like my father and mother came around, oh, absolutely. Rita, my uncle's wife, my father was so upset with him because she was Catholic. He made her give up her church for him, and he never went to church. Oh, my father was so upset. He said her wings are gone. Not her wings, but out of water. That she had nothing left. But